Today's class is called What Do You Know? And essentially what I want to know is what do y'all know? And what are you thinking about? And just related to a lot of different things that we're going to talk about all semester. And some of them are pretty mainstream, and a few of them we're going to walk kind of close to the edge a little bit. But you really just want to see what you have to say about things. And I'm going to ask for, it's going to be all volunteers. We're going to, you all are going to be talking. I basically am going to slack for the next couple of classes. So you all are going to do my job. And here's the thing to remember. There are no gotcha moments here. And y'all need this, we need to be kind. Kind. Got it? This is not the standard social media where we slam people and someone says the wrong thing and there's all the buzz in the class, whatever the wrong thing is, because all of us could or would say the wrong thing. I do it all the time, obviously. So we're just having a cool conversation. We're going to have a conversation. So as you volunteer, remember that there's no gotcha stuff. It's actually kind of I think we're rocking. So here's what I need. I need someone in the queer community to start out. Anybody in the queer, and I'm just picking. There's actually no particular reason I'm going for someone in the queer community. Bro, you are on, man. Well, you're the guy from the stream the other day, right? I recognize your face. You're back on. All right, man. What's your name?
My name is Michael.
Michael, dude. Michael. And the tables up here, I find that for a lot of folks, you can lean against it, you can sit on it. However it goes, whatever you think about or whatever's really most comfortable for you. So it doesn't, however you want to go. And by the way, hang on one second. I'm just going to move it over just a little bit so we're right in the center. So you can sit up on it and down. Okay, man. Here's what I want you to, so the way we're doing this is, you got 3 minutes, maybe 2, but to explain to the class and to anybody watching the stream. And many of them, once again, are not from the United States. So these are all things that we're kind of dealing with here in the U.S. and thinking about and wondering about. And I want you to just take a couple minutes to explain what it is. And you're not going to know what it is until I pop it on the screen. So here's this one.
Okay, so cancel culture is the practice of calling someone out or I guess slandering them for something that they say that they do not agree with. This could be something as little as oh, I don't like this show that you like or whatever, or I believe that this has bad implications for society at large, and the large majority of it is not very well thought out. It's the reason why people are against cancel culture is because a lot of the time it is based on little evidence, and it's just taken out of context a lot of the time.
So when somebody gets canceled,
yes,
what does that mean?
When they get canceled, they their I guess presence, their ethos is taken down a notch by whatever event that they were involved with.
Got you. All right. So listen. So cool. Very good, man. I mean, good. I don't know. These are all things that. Who's got a question for him? So now you're going to be. So he's me, he's teaching the class for 2 minutes. He just taught you something. Now you got to have a question. So who's got a? So with each person, we're going to take a couple questions. What do you got? Who's got something? Bro. Say your name first.
Oh, what's up? My name is Ab, and
wait, Ab as in.
Yeah.
As in Ab, A-B?
Yeah, Ab.
Okay.
Anyways, if someone's canceled, can they ever be uncanceled, or you're screwed forever?
It's hard to say a lot of the times. I mean, there will be some circles who still will hold you, hold this thing against you, and sometimes if people dig into this whatever problem that you're involved with and find out that oh, this is taken out of context, they can spread that around, but a lot of the time the damage is already done. I don't think it ever really 100% goes away, but it definitely can be lessened.
Cool. Anybody else? Another question? Thanks, bro. Good question, man. I was wondering that myself. I guess things live forever on the internet, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons, by the way, I record every class. One of the reasons, because it's like kind of a safety thing for me. It's risky on one hand, but it's safety on the other. Anybody else have a question for Michael about cancel culture? Dude, is this a big thing in LGBT culture?
I'd say it's pretty prevalent these days, especially with the internet.
Are you part of the queer culture, or are you just gay? No, there's a difference, right? Like,
Yes to both.
yeah. Okay, yes to both.
Yeah.
How long have you been gay?
My whole life. Trick question.
That's a trick question. No, okay, when did you come out?
I first realized it myself when I was like about 15.
So you came out to yourself when you were
yes.
about 15?
Mm-hmm. And my parents found out when I was 17.
Yeah?
And
What'd they say?
well, my mother came to me crying about it, and she was like, "Michael, are you gay?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Which still, I wasn't, but I am now. No, but my boyfriend is. Yeah, so, yeah.
She was very accepting of it in the moment, but she doesn't mention it at all, so I don't know what's up with that.
She doesn't talk about it?
No.
Have you bought a boyfriend?
Yes, yeah, no, I am dating someone now, and I like introduced him to her over FaceTime during Easter, which is probably not a good idea, but yeah.
Dude, Easter was the time when Jesus hung out with 12 men, so
Yeah, exactly.
just making that's just a point. It's just an observation, so.
But yeah, she doesn't have any like very verbal issues with it.
Oh, but that's cool. So this is the irony, right? On one hand, like truly, we will have arrived when you come out and everyone is just sort of ho hum about it, including our parents. So ironically, that's how you want your parents to be, right? And not talk about it a lot. So that's the weird thing that we're in, right? Okay, cool. Hey, man. All right, cool. Have you ever like stood up for someone who got canceled, by the way, and said like, "Come on, man, this is not cool"?
From time to time, I don't remember. My memory fails me about like who, but I definitely have stood up for people who have been under unfair scrutiny.
Yeah, cool. All right, man. Thanks. All right, bro. I don't know what I do. Oh, here it is. Hey, okay, man. Now I need a conservative. Dude, yeah, it's got to be you. Come on, man. Dude, yeah. Dude. Oh my God. Awesome, man. Just, what's your name?
I'm Cole.
Cole?
Cole,
Here,
yeah.
you can.
Thank
Just the visor, bro. It's everything. I knew it. Hey, by the way, one of my tasks in this class, I'm not going to say it, and I'll say nothing until we go to this one. Are you ready? Dude, it's a big deal to out yourself as a conservative. Talk in that.
I'd say I'm more conservative than not conservative, so I mean, I guess that works.
All right.
So,
All right.
okay.
Dude, you've heard, you know this, right?
I mean, kind of. I mean,
What do you think? Okay, hang on. You're not, here's the most important thing. So you got to talk into the mic. So you say you kind of know this? Or have you have an idea about it?
yes.
You're not expected to have ID just because I call you down. Just because he would label himself more conservative than
so
not
scared.
doesn't mean that he thinks about this. But so the idea is we'll work through it.
Okay.
All right, go for it, man. What would you say?
I mean, I think somebody that is a social justice warrior would be somebody that, like, I guess, stands for justice socially.
Dude. Nah, dude. Okay. First off, by the way, that's a fail, all right? Those are all the social justice warriors who are clapping for you. So, yeah, keep going. Keep working it.
I mean,
Take a risk, man. Come on, think about your buddies. You're sitting around, you're having beer, you're at your honey cabin, whatever it is, right? You're polishing your guns, because isn't that what conservatives do? I don't know. All right, got it. So you're talking about social justice warriors. What do they mean?
I feel like it's just people that go out of their way to make sure that everything is as equal as it can be, and that a lot of people are like free socially and free to do what they want socially, and yeah, I don't know. I just feel like people that go up and about just to make sure that they're like making moves to like help people out amongst all fields.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's cool. Anyone have a question? Or who's got a question? Someone's got to have a question. Anyone? Bro, man. Can you just pass that back behind you? The dude in the blue right there. What's your name?
My name's Avery.
What's up?
I just wanted to ask, do you think that the term social justice warrior has like a negative connotation?
Get behind here.
No.
Wait, what's your
Okay.
question again, bro?
Does the term social justice warrior have a negative connotation to it?
You don't think so?
I think it's like a cool thing. Like, I'd want to be a warrior. Like,
Okay. All right, hang on. Hold tight. All right, that's cool. Dude, you're a nice guy. Like, all right, you're trying to be nice. Okay. Is there a conservative in class who would say like, nah, I actually have a point on this? Dude, you have a question or you have a comment? What's that? Okay, bro.
No, I was going to say usually conservatives say that it's someone that goes a little out of their way to make a point and to irritate. I know that people probably don't like that, but that's the connotation, and usually someone who's conservative has a really, really negative view of that.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's be really clear here. Go ahead. Do you want to respond?
well, I mean, what I was going to say, if maybe somebody from the conservative side was going to go out of their way socially to make something happen, then they'd view it in a positive way. So it could go both ways.
So, all right, so here, let me say something here, right?
This is like my 5th day on campus, by the way. So
Yeah? Okay. Are you a freshman? Yeah. Ah, dude. Awesome, man. All right. Hey, awesome. Give me someone who's part of like the libertarian group or who's in college Republicans? Dude, are you in college Republicans? Oh, dude, come here, man. Oh, wait, hang on. Stay up there. Dude, oh my God. Oh, all right. Dude, you're the man. This is the guy right here. All right.
Oh, Sam.
Wait,
Sam.
what's your name?
Sam.
Sean? Dude, have a seat. All right, this is Sean.
That's me, yeah.
What's your name again, bro? Cole. Dude, this guy, okay, now this guy is conservative. All right, so what's a social justice warrior, bro? Well, first off, what's 2020? What's a social justice warrior? Go ahead.
Social justice warrior is generally somebody that's on the left, usually the far left, that, like he kind of said, goes out of their way to, in their view, stop racism, hatred, bring about equality. Usually these are the people that like push for speakers to be banned on campuses. They'll be the people that go out of their way to make a protest or something. I mean, I've encountered many of them because I go around campus kind of not hiding my conservatism. So you'll encounter a lot of these people, and you've only been here 5 days, right? Yeah. Okay, you'll see a few. Just give it time. And
so
some,
what's their definition of social justice?
in their minds,
Yeah.
it's equality, anti-racism, anti-fascism, anti-Trump now is kind of a lot of it. Anything that's seen as like racist, sexist, misogynistic, like
Got
they
ya.
try to get rid of it.
All right, got you, man. All right, so okay, dude, that's it. Do you have anything to add?
Well, I mean, as somebody said that, it could be more of like, or you mentioned the whole like trying to get somebody off of campus. I know I watch Steven Crowder a lot. I'm
Yeah,
sure
me
you're familiar
too.
with him. And people try to take him off campus a lot, or off his places a lot. So I guess it could go both ways, like I was saying before. Like, it's not just us trying to stop other people, or like it could be the other way around, I guess.
Well, I'd say from my experience, it's majority of the time the left-wing social justice warriors are going out of their way to ban speakers like Milo, Crowder, Dave Rubin, who's not even on the right. Conservatives will 9 times out of 10 just come to events, sit there peacefully.
Hey, listen.
Okay.
Let me ask this question: how many social justice warriors how many are in class? How many of you would identify as a social justice warrior? Really? That's all? Come on, raise your hands, man. 1, 2, 3. All right, man. How many of you identify basically? Wait, I got one. Another.
Yo, if Ben Shapiro came to campus, how many of you would have an issue with that? That's the question.
Yeah.
And he has come to campus before a protest.
Yeah.
He has.
All right, man. Okay, cool. Well, listen, man. Thanks for being in class. Yeah, no problem. Awesome. Make sure you. Yeah, you're done, man. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, wait. Give me a hand. Oh, my God. All right. Here we go. I need a white person who has relatively little experience with race and black and brown people, but race and race relations. Look, if I say black and brown people, it just means really kind of anyone who's not white. So whatever, I don't know. I need a white person who has relatively little experience, preferably a woman now, because I have. Are we ready? You, relatively little experience? All right, come on. No, you should be scared. Wait till you see what's going on for you. Have a seat. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. This is yours. No, you shouldn't be scared. Don't be scared. It's all good. Anything, go anywhere you want to go. And I'm going to stand over here.
Anywhere.
Just don't be racist, all right? No, you're good. Here, listen, let me help you.
I mean,
we're just gonna leave you here, right? To
I
melt.
definitely feel like I'm being set up to be
No, you're not.
racist. I
No.
mean, skin's your skin,
No, listen here.
right?
I'm playing around with you. So listen. Think about just whatever you can say about skin. Anything at all. You could go in 100 different directions right now. And if I asked every person in class, everyone would say something different. Just say anything you have to say. About your skin, about skin,
About my skin.
about what it means, about how we think about it, about whatever.
Like, beauty is not skin deep. That's a good answer, right? Yeah.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
That was a good.
You're killing it.
I'm killing it. Skin is on your body to make you not bleed to death. That's objective. And all of the world really gets upset about skin. That's a good way to put something.
All of the world?
Yeah. Anywhere you go, there's going to be racial problems because race is skin, but race isn't skin because race is like in your brain, right?
Mm-hmm. Race is so many more things.
Yeah.
What did you learn about skin growing up?
Like the medical side of skin. Like
Nah, just like what did you learn about skin? I don't know, having white skin. Did you?
having white skin's not always the best thing. Having white skin's good sometimes.
What do you mean it's not always the best thing?
Well, right now it's really not good.
No, hang on.
Like,
No, hang on. This is really good. No, stay with that. What do you mean? Because I know, I have an answer for that. What do you mean it's not always the best thing, meaning?
I mean, lots of people look at you in a different way because of what color it is. And, like, people think that white people don't get looked at differently because they're white, but, I mean, I have lots of times.
So people so you feel some kind of way about the fact that you're white?
Yeah.
Or you've been taught to feel some kind of way about the fact that you're white?
Yeah, and society kind of pushes you in a certain way to feel a certain way about being white.
Okay. All right, cool. Dude, that's good. Okay, you're good. Hang on. Question. Someone have a question? Yes. Okay, we're going to go with this young woman here, this brown woman, and then the black dude next to her.
How do you feel
Wait,
about...
what's your name first?
Rihanna.
Liana.
How do you feel about white privilege?
Whoa.
Okay. I mean, it's definitely a real thing in lots of places, and it's unfair. But I mean, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that. Like, what do you want me to feel?
No, hang on. That's a really nice, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel about that. That's a really honest, straightforward, that's a cool response. Yep.
Okay.
That's a cool response. I don't know. No, listen. No, go ahead. Say something. Do you want to say something else? No, hang on. Just leave it right there.
Okay.
That's part of what this class is to help you orient you through the kinds of things that that you could discover, that you could feel about that. So that's cool. That's why we're here, to talk about that. All right, bro, man. You're on. Wait, what's your name?
Michael. So you indicated that there are particularly sometimes that it's good to be white. What would be the other times when it's bad or, unfavorable to be white?
I mean, this is kind of personal, but like my freshman year, I was in a dorm room, supplemental, and I was the only white girl, and it was kind of like a thing where it was like, you're the white girl, and I don't want anything to do with you, and I was like, okay. I mean, sometimes it's like in groups are nice because everybody goes in their own little groups, and like whatever color you want to be there, that's what you are, and that's accepted. But if you're trying to like be in a separate group and people aren't so open to white people, you're kind of ostracized from it. It's not always like you're winning because you're white, like society's kind of thinking right now.
So what did you learn growing up about, what did you learn about white people? Like, just the general sort of statements about white people.
I mean, I grew up with only white people.
No, what did you learn, like, in the history book? Think of all the different things.
I did. I don't know.
Because when I heard you say, yeah, it's not always good to be white, what I heard was, we, white people, and like Americans, right? What's put upon us is a lot of responsibility for a lot of the ills of the world. And so it's like, you walk around with a lot of responsibility on your shoulders a little bit about all sorts of things, right? Like Jim Crow and slavery and genocide and all sorts of stuff. It's like those words are attached to us. It's like, and so one thing that we'll talk about in here as well is the discovery of the different ways in which white people have a certain experience of the world that is also very complicated. So that's where you went, that I was like, yeah, totally, it's not always good to be white. And that's in that sense. In other ways, it's great to be white, dude. Yeah. But it's complex, Dude, that's a really hard question for someone who grew up around white people. So awesome. Thanks, man. You killed it. Yeah. Nice answers. Good. Yo, and by the way, especially black and brown people, do you have any idea? No, most of you don't understand what it is for a white person who really hasn't had a lot of experience but knows all the stories and knows the perspectives and has an idea of what we think are the attitudes, and you watch, and to sit here with a microphone and talk about something like skin when you really haven't thought much about it, and because you just haven't. But there's time. It's fine. You're 18 years old, 19 years old. You will, and you do, and that's awesome. It takes a lot, man. Okay, we ready? Now I need a black woman, preferably African American, someone from the U.S., not African. Anybody, can be anyone. Hang on, wait, I got you. Oh, dog. Yo, you, right there. Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Killing it, man. There you are. What's your name?
Jada.
Jada? So you can stand, sit, whatever you want to do, lean, doesn't matter. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Hair.
Anywhere you want to go.
I think hair gets looked at as something that's like not that serious to some people, but like being an African American woman, you realize that like hair is so much more than that. Like if I wear my natural hair to job interviews, it can be seen as like unprofessional, or something that's not the norm in the workplace, but I feel like my natural hair should be the norm. I feel like anything on my head should be seen as professional or something that's okay for the workplace.
So here, let's go to another. Okay, we're going to go to another level here. Thanks. That's cool. Okay, that's good. Like skin. So bringing a white woman up and saying, "Hey, talk about skin." It's kind of risky, right? Bringing you up and say, "Hey, talk about hair." It's like there's a lot there. And so you hit, you went here. That's cool, right? It's good. That was a cool answer. Anything else you want to say? Anything else you would throw in? And like when I say it's like it's deep, like it's deep. I know that, right? Do you want to say something about that, or do you want to just like okay?
I mean, I don't really know like where to take that.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool, man. Anybody have questions? You got a question? Hang on, we'll go here first. For Jada, it's Jada, right?
Yeah.
Yo, man.
Hi. My name's Kira.
What is it?
Kira.
Kira.
So I guess my question would be, how do you feel about particularly like the white community replicating primarily like black styled hair, like cornrows and stuff like that? Like what is your opinion on that?
I believe in some cases it's definitely cultural appropriation because the respect is not given. I feel like people take hairstyles like cornrows, for example, or like feed-in braids and call them things like boxer braids, and that's not the name for them. Like, you can't take something and try to rename it or try to make it like you came up with it or you're taking it when it's a style that people use, like dating all the way back to Africa, where hair was used as something that's an expression, like people, different tribes had different hairstyles and things. So to just take it and then try to claim it as your own, like that's cultural appropriation.
Mm-hmm. You have a question?
Hi, my name's Jalen. My question was, how do you feel about like commercials that are about like shampoos and other hairstyles being mainly aimed towards like white women or white people in general, and like having like black, mainly like natural hair, like shampoos and conditioners and like mousse and stuff like that being more expensive to buy instead?
I mean, like, I definitely don't like that either, because like they lock them up in the stores too. Like what are you locking it for? I'm not about to steal. But like, I don't like that.
They lock them up in the stores because
they like for like the minority hair products or products that will work like on maybe thicker hair. Like they tend to put those in like separate cases where they lock that up, where like other hair products that like aren't typically for like African American hair textures are like kept out for people to just grab and bring up to the counter, where I have to get an associate to open it up for me.
So that's so here, let me just say something really fast. So one of the things for me is I'm just I ask a lot of questions like that. Like in that case, I want you to say more about that. And not because I don't know anything about it, because I want you to say more, right? So how is that for you? When you got to go get someone to get a hair product what was your name again? Lyra? Kira. That Kira can just go get off the shelf, and you got to go get someone to unlock a case for it.
I don't like that because I feel like you're judging me. You're judging a whole group and kind of making it seem like, oh, I'm not really trustworthy. When like I've never stolen anything, so like.
Yeah, especially given that black people don't shoplift any more than anybody else.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you can't really put a color on a thief. Like nobody in this room can point at somebody and say, "Oh, that's a thief." Like you don't know what a thief looks like. So for you to put it as something separate and kind of generalize and make it seem like a whole group of people
Yep.
steal. Like, that makes me feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Hey, who else has a question? Who's got a question? Yes, ma'am.
Hey, my
What's
name
your
is Amira.
Amira.
My question is, has anybody, because it happened to me, has anybody ever asked you, like, oh, can I straighten your hair, or can I touch your hair, or can I do so-and-so to your hair? And did it make you feel uncomfortable if they did ask you that?
Wait, hang on. The second question is, how did it make you feel? You'll get a better answer.
How did it make you feel?
Like, it makes me feel like, am I an animal in the zoo? Like, why do you want to touch my hair? Like, you can't pet me. Like, you have hair, I have hair. Yes, it might not be the same, but I would never walk up to someone with a different hair texture and say, can I touch your hair? Like, that's kind of degrading, I feel like, because you're making it seem like, oh, that's something so different, da-da-da. Like, don't touch me. And like,
Cool. All right. Listen. Thanks, man. You killed it. Yeah. All right, man. So this can be anybody. Thanks. Good question, by the way. Anybody who's taken a women's studies class. Yeah, at the top. You're currently in a women's studies class? Wait, what year are you? Junior? All right. What's your major? What is it? Film and video? Oh, yeah. Okay. Come on down then. Yeah. Jeff. What's up, dog? Film and video. All right. How's life, man? Oh, this is good. This is a nice welcome to women's studies. Nice tattoo.
Thanks.
Hang on, let me see.
It's just.
Dude, oh, hang on. Show the home audience. Can you, yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. All right, what's your name?
It's Lauren, but everybody calls me Pooch.
Pooch?
Pooch.
Pooch?
Yeah.
You look like a pooch.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? No, I mean, you just look like somebody that, yeah, just somebody who would have like, yeah, no, it's awesome.
My
Right.
name doesn't really fit
Yeah.
me, so my nickname does.
Yeah. And by the way, turn your head to the right. Can you get a close-up of Pooch's hat right here? Anti-social social club. All right, man. Here's Pooch. Here's yours. Yep. Oh, you don't have this one? Intersectionality. Oh, you're going to learn it in your women's studies class. Yeah. Go, what do you think it means? Yep. What do you think? You don't have it?
No, I mean, there's a lot of.
Okay, hang on. All right, hang on. Okay, so I need someone who can say what this is. How about you up there? Yep. Come down. Yeah, no, right here. Yep. Come down. All right, here we go now. Here's another. Yeah, this is another Pooch. You got to have a cool nickname. Dude. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, have a seat.
Love.
What's your name?
Okay, my name is Celeste.
Celeste.
Nice to meet you. I'm the president of Queer and Trans People of Color, which is an org that is based off of intersectionality. So intersectionality is when a minority has like a double minority, if that makes sense. So like since I'm a person of color and I'm also gay, that's an intersection. And then also being a woman of color and also being gay, also an intersectionality. And like, yeah, that's kind of what intersectionality is.
So how and why is so you got that?
Yeah, I got it.
How, in what ways are you intersectional? Does it mean anything for you?
I'm gay as well.
You're gay? Is the whole class gay? Like, what's up here? Is anyone not gay? You know what I mean? Jada, are you gay? Like, is everyone gay? Are you gay? Jeff's gay, I'm gay, we're all gay. So let's just be, dude, awesome, man. All right. Damn, all right, so what's it mean? Okay, so you're gay, you're white. Are you white? You look like you could be Latina.
No, I'm white.
Okay,
Also, just like being a woman,
being a woman. What's your social class?
Caucasian.
No class, like what
What
class?
do you mean?
Like rich, poor?
Oh, I'm middle upper class.
Okay, got you. All right, man. Okay, so say more. How and here, wait, hang on. You can use this. How and why is intersectionality important? Pretend you're teaching Intro to Women's Studies and you're teaching it for the very first time. Why is it important that we understand this concept?
I think it's important that people learn about intersectionality because when you do talk about privilege and like upon like white privilege and then like having another like junction of like being gay, like that's also like another thing to be discriminated against. So being queer and a woman, it makes like walking through life so much harder because there are so many different things that people can persecute you for. So like I've been persecuted myself like on this campus for being Asian, or I've been heckled because I'm Asian.
What do you mean by So hang on. Dude, you ready? This is your question, okay? Got it? What do you mean by persecuted?
Persecuted as in, I guess I'm going to go personal, but like I've walked in the streets of Boston and someone like has
But
told
you
me,
what? What did you say?
I said, I've walked through like the streets of Boston before.
Okay, got you.
And someone has told me to get out of this country.
Out of this country?
Even though I'm American born.
Yeah.
So she was basing that off of like what I look like, even though I'm
Mm-hmm.
an American citizen.
Are you ABC or ABK or? No, what are you American born? What? Where are you? Where's your ancestry?
My ancestry, I'm from China.
From China.
So
Okay.
I'm adopted.
All right. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I have a really interesting.
Dude, all
everything.
right. Okay, there you go. So, okay.
Oh yeah,
here's-
I'm adopted.
Okay. Oh my God.
You're learning so much
well,
about
of course
me.
you are.
And I have
right?
white parents.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Are they
interesting.
Cool? Are they
but
cool white people?
Sometimes.
Yeah. All right. No, they're always. Listen, they might be watching. They're always cool. Like, yeah. All right. So listen. Okay. So intersectionality then is this idea, from what I'm hearing from you, right? It's this idea that you can't, if you really want to understand the complexities of the world, like you got to understand positions. And in order to understand positions, you really have to understand where people are coming from. So, for example, just a very simple thing. When you walk into a room like this, right? And we're like start having these conversations about white people and white supremacy and white this and white that. And then you got some poor white person over here. Who's poor and white? Who's poor? Poor and white. Okay, so here. You got her. Wait, just stand up really fast. What's your name? Katie. This is Katie, who's poor and white. And then just stay standing. She's poor. Give her money. Do something. I don't know, right? Stay right there. And who's rich and black? Who's rich and black? Are you rich and black? What's your name? Rebecca? Of course you are. That's such a rich name. Are you white also? That's a white name. Here, stand up really fast. And then, just really quickly, you can. So here, you ready?
Oh yeah.
So you got Katie over here,
Okay.
who's poor and white. You got Rebecca here, who's black and rich. Intersectionality says, well, what are you going to say about black people that includes her? And what are you going to say about white people that includes her? When in fact, wait, what are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about? Like, intersectionality means that you got to bring wealth into it. You got to bring class into it. You got to bring the fact that she's a woman into it. You got to bring all these things in. And you got to do it with her as well. Because are you going to look at her and just say, oh, she's all so full of privilege? How many black and brown people in here would rather be poor and white than rich and brown? Poor and white than rich and brown? We have one hand. Anybody else? Dude, how poor are you, by the way? Wait, hang on. Wait, hang on. Hold on one second. How poor are you? You can sit down. Thanks, man. How poor are you?
Like fairly poor.
Like fairly poor or like
yeah.
really poor?
Like mostly really poor.
Yeah? Where
Yeah.
does your family own a house? Or do you...
No, my mom is in North Carolina with her fiance, but can't get a job. And
She doesn't own a house?
kind of, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Okay, so she.
No, wait.
she like had to file for bankruptcy and everything.
Okay,
so
all right.
Not good. And then, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know, guys. So I'm
Okay.
broke.
So you're paying for school.
Yeah, and then my taxes didn't go through for this semester,
So you're basically.
so I don't have financial aid for this semester.
Okay, no financial aid.
Yeah.
Are you from out of state?
No, I'm in state.
Okay, so got it. Okay, so now we're going to do intersectionality. Okay? Thanks, Matt. So if you want to just make a statement about, so let's say you're in a group and you know nothing about her, but you make some statement about her white privilege. Right? White privilege, Matt. Haiti's white privilege. And you know nothing about where she comes from. Like, come on, man. This is where intersectionality comes in. So do you want to say anything about that? You can have a seat. Thanks, man. Thanks for sharing, by the way. Yeah. Do you want to say anything? You see that, right? What do you think about what I just did right there?
I think that's very important to point out because there are so many different ways to be intersectional, and people don't realize that. Because like ableism is also something that's an intersection. I think there are always going to be different categories and different people and walks of life that are going to face different intersections. But when you talk about the white aspect is when you go into like a job field or something like that, regardless of if your income, basically, people judge off of appearances, and certain people get less opportunity based off of what their name is and how it's spelled. So like people will see you and like in a job interview, and like versus someone who is usually like a person of color,
No, go ahead.
Oh, and like they'll choose you over them based off of like biases, if that makes sense. So like that's still like you're still having privilege even though you're intersectional, if that makes sense. Like I am a male presenting lesbian. So like there's like privilege in that, like people like can tell that I am like gay basically. And there's like there is privilege and there's not privilege, and it's really deep.
Dude, it's totally deep. Yeah, we'll come back to it.
I don't want to take
bro.
a lot of time.
Bro, how are we doing here? Are we all right? Are you all right? You like, yeah, we're good? I'm trying to hold down the, ask the more critical questions there. All right. Do you have anything to add? You get the last statement on this if you want. You don't have to.
I don't know. I think like we try to put people in these groups, but like I'm sure I could sit here and stand to everybody and point out their intersexuality, like, you know what I mean?
Intersectionality, totally, man. It's just like
Even
life
just,
itself.
Like male and female, like everybody's a minority. Do you know what
Totally,
I mean?
man. In some way, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks, man. Wait, what's your name again?
Celeste.
Pooch. Dude, I won't forget it, man. Thanks. All right, thanks, man. Hey, Pooch. Thanks, man. Bro, seriously, I got it. I got you, man. Are there any more people in this class who are like really conservative? Anybody? Like, no, I don't. Dude, see, here's the thing. And we're going to do a class, we're going to talk about this, but it's one of those things that in a college campus like this one that is, very liberal, actually. And it's one of those things, you're really not allowed to be. The moment you say you're conservative, people, too often, people, and not just social justice warriors, they go, oh, you must be narrow-minded. Oh, you must hate people. Oh, you might, all these things. It's like, it's really crazy that it's hard to just even say like, hey, I'm a conservative. You have to be really strong and really have a full understanding of your beliefs. It's, yeah, we're gonna push on that a lot. Okay, you ready? I need someone from China. Somebody from China. Or as our president would say, China. China. Are you from China? Okay, come on. Here we go. Yeah, you're on. Okay.
Is it? Okay.
What's your name?
Julia.
Julia? What's your Chinese name?
I'm adopted also.
Oh, you're adopted?
Yeah.
Wait, do you live in China or you live in the U.S.?
I live in the U.S.
Okay, listen, man. Okay, let's see if you can do this question, though. You ready?
Right.
Let's see. Can you do that? Can you say something about that? Okay, hang on. We're going to go backwards. I'm going to do another one with you. Since you're up
Okay.
here, have a seat. I was going to do this one later, but I'm going to do it right now. Say something about cross-cultural adoptions. Something that people need to know. Well, wait, hang on. Who adopted you? Who are your parents?
Their names are John and Jane. They're both white, and they both grew up in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so say something about cross-cultural adoptions, meaning people adopting children from another ancestral background. Just what do you think people will be really good for this class to know that they probably don't know? Things that not just you've experienced, but other people who've been adopted cross-culturally experienced. This is like, let's say that everybody in this class is thinking about adopting someone from a different culture. Right? What would you like? What advice would you give? What would you say? Like, hey, okay, here's some things you probably don't know or don't think about.
I think there's a lot of judgment with stuff like that. Parents get criticized. They're like, I don't know, this is like pretty racist, but people often say, why wouldn't you want a kid that looks like you? I've heard that a lot.
You heard that a lot?
Yeah.
How is that to hear that? How is that for you?
It's pretty hard because, I mean, when I was little, like in elementary school, I didn't really understand why I didn't look like my parents. And a lot of my friends have siblings, and I have like 2 sisters that are from my dad's previous marriage before he adopted me. It's kind of complicated, but like all my friends look exactly like their siblings and all this stuff, and I just didn't, and I didn't really understand why until probably like middle school. So it's kind of hard when people say stuff like, you don't look like your parents, like, especially whenever people, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain how it feels.
When you say it's hard, like, you mean, so you feel like, does it destabilize you? As though, like, you don't have a home or you don't belong?
Yeah, it feels like, I don't know, I've gotten a lot of, oh, they're not your real parents.
Like, not your real parents, right?
But I'm sure everyone that's adopted's gotten that before, but it's hard whenever your parents don't look like you.
Yeah. Hey, okay, dude, that's cool. Thanks. That's deep, so I appreciate that. And that's really important. That's not only important imagining that people are going to adopt, but actually people who might say those things. Who has a question? What's your name? Julia. Bro, you got a question? All right, now. Hey, where's Alex? Do you have the microphone? Bro, okay, wait, who has a question? All right, no.
My name's John. I just want to know, how did it affect your adopted conversation, like, growing up, being like, I don't look like you? Like, did it make it easier to have that conversation or harder or anything?
Can you maybe reword that? I'm not exactly sure what you mean.
Yes, sorry. Like, you grew up knowing that you didn't look like your parents, like you said.
Yeah.
If you had, like, one conversation where your parents sat you down and said, you're adopted, we didn't have you, like, did it make it easier or harder growing up knowing already that you didn't look like them?
My parents never actually sat me down and had a full conversation about it. It was kind of something that they established early on, but I still didn't like really understand it because I was so young. But it's something that I've struggled with a lot up until like within the past few years. It's been hard because I never actually knew my birth parents. Like, I was left somewhere and found and taken to an orphanage and all that stuff. So I don't know, that's hard. It's like, I'm not exactly sure how to answer that. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You're good.
Dude, it's a good question, though. Hey, thanks. Who else? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. Do you ever feel like your parents like don't understand a certain part of you, like because you guys don't look alike? Like if you have like a cultural problem or something at school or like experience something racist, do you feel like you can't really talk to them because they're not going to understand?
Well, I was really lucky to have parents that are very understanding. I feel like I can talk to them about anything. So I feel like if I ever had an issue with that, I could come to them and they would understand. But I know a lot of people aren't like that. And I guess I was just really lucky in that instance. But there is always a part of me that kind of feels like I don't have the same connection with my parents as other people do. And that's sometimes hard for me. But I just have to keep telling myself that they are my real parents and that they love me like the same as any other parents would love their kids.
Hey, thanks for that. Thanks for that question. That's a really good question. Thanks for your answer. How many of you are adopted, by the way? Is it weird to ask you to stand up just because I'm just curious as to, so you're adopted? So 1, 2, that's a lot. Yeah, you have a big community. How many of you are adopted by parents of a different ancestry besides 2? Yeah, so that's a lot. So wait, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoa. All right, thanks. Hey, those of you who are adopted by someone of a different ancestry, do you want to add anything to this? Like, do you want to add anything? I'll get this. Oh, awesome, man.
Okay, so...
Wait, hang on a sec before you do. Can we get a shot of this little guy? Dude, get down. Get down. Can you get blue? Can you put blue on? There we go, big guy. All right, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was adopted and my dad is white and my mom is from Denmark. So instead of having like Asian culture and background like embedded when I was growing up, I had Danish culture and background. I'm also dual citizenship in Denmark and America. So I have like that background. I think it's cool. And I didn't really same with her, I didn't really have that concrete like conversation like you're adopted. I think it kind of just like, I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that was that. Oh, but one thing also, like with what she was talking about, like my sister gets it, I guess. Like in lines or something, they won't know that my sister's with my mom as like parent and child. They think like it's my mom and then my sister's there by herself. That's never happened to me, but she said it before.
But it's like a constant thing, right?
For
like
her,
it's a constant
I guess.
thing.
Not for me. I haven't had that, but
yeah.
She has.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. And what's your dog's name, by the way?
Lisbon.
Lisbon?
Lisbon.
Hey, Lisbon. Do you have anything you want to add, pal? You've been adopted. All right, we're good. All right. Lisbon. Hey, does anyone else? I mean, we're here. We're just on this. So this is the way this class goes. Sometimes we just take a detour. We didn't necessarily plan it. Anyone else want to add anything? Someone else stood up over here. Do you have a question? Yeah. All right, question. Hey, so you're just saying, are you good? Yeah. All right, Mel. What's your name?
Kobe. Okay, so how do you feel when specifically white people go to like underprivileged countries and post like tons of pictures with children there and then end up some adopt, some don't. But do you think they do, like some do it because they care, some do it almost because of like how it makes them look?
Yeah, that's kind of hard. I don't want to stereotype those people and say that all people are like that because I know they aren't, but I know it does kind of bother me sometimes. I feel like they're only doing it to just come across as I don't know how to like put that into words, I guess. But I know exactly what you mean.
But here's one of these questions. It's a really good question. But it's also one of these questions, like almost to answer it, you have to go into this really deep judgmental mode when you don't have the data. But the answer is to say, yes, something doesn't, sometimes something, I just wonder if I feel something and I'm not sure what it is. That's like a really fair answer. Like, so listen, for example, in this class, y'all, we live in this world where, everyone's throwing these opinions around all the time. And sometimes instead of throwing an opinion around of things that we really don't know about, sometimes we could just say, there's just something that doesn't feel right for me. Like, I'm not really sure what it is or whatever. Hey, listen. Awesome. Thanks, son. You killed it. Yeah. Okay, now I need someone who's Chinese. Someone who's Chinese could just explain something to us. Wait, where are we at? Bro. Wait, from China? You're good? All right, come on, man. You already know what it is. You already know what you're going to talk about. You spent the last 10 minutes preparing your response. So this is in the news. Well, hang on, man. Listen, by the way, I have this is the thing. I have tinnitus. I was a drummer my whole life, and I have tinnitus from banging on cymbals. So sometimes the way these speakers are, I hear things, but it's kind of hard and whatever. So say it again.
Hao Ching.
Hao Ching.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I killed it.
Yeah.
I killed it, right?
Did a good job.
All right. All right. Dude, Hong Kong. Tell us about Hong Kong. What's going on? What do you know? What do you got?
Yeah, so when I first see this word, it pops out of my head is a place in China in the southeastern. It's a southeastern island, I think so. Yeah, and I've been there once. It's a really beautiful place and modern place to hang around. And I know there's a lot of things going on in Hong Kong. It's really miserable there. But yeah.
That's it, bro.
I think I could come up with more.
There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah,
there's.
I know.
All right.
I know.
People are sort of getting rowdy, unruly,
violence.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So were you just back home in China?
Yeah, and I transferred my flight from Hong Kong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't want to get caught up in the ruckus.
No.
So what are they saying? What are they saying in China, in the Chinese media about Hong Kong?
Yeah, from the Chinese media, they're just trying to proclaim their right to just save Hong Kong, but they haven't done any actions yet. They trust the Hong Kong police officers, and they trust them. They can deal with all these problems.
All right, man. You ready? Somebody have a question? Who's got a question? Yo, bro. Yeah. Dude, right in the front here.
Hey.
Hi. My name is Khalil. How do you feel about the One China policy?
How do I feel about what?
The One China policy.
The One China policy. I think that's clear because there's only one China. It's on the map, and
oh
yeah, and
yeah. All right. Wait. One China. Okay.
Yeah, and
that wasn't about you, by the way. It had nothing to do with what you said. This is something. Okay. So you. All right. Next one, man. Who's got someone up above had a question? Bro. All right. Go ahead, man. Dude. You got a mic? Go ahead.
So my name is Mike.
Wait, right here first.
How's it going? I've been hearing a lot about China having a social credit score and all the cameras monitoring citizens. And if you could expand on that, I recently saw a video of protesters tearing down a camera thing and beating it up while their faces are covered. What's going on there?
Honestly, I haven't really experienced that all camera things.
Yeah, you
before.
haven't?
No, I haven't.
Have you heard of the social credit system and so on?
No. What is that?
Alex, can you say it, bro? What we were talking about yesterday. Can you say it in Mandarin to him?
In Mandarin?
Yeah. Say what it is in Mandarin. The social credit thing.
Social credit?
Yeah. Say it to him, and I just want to see if he's heard of it.
I don't know. We don't really talk about in China, but something along the lines of 公民信用类似。
Oh, social credit.
Yeah, 信用度对。
Wait, hang on. Say it loud. I want people to hear Mandarin here.
Okay. Social credit is like 社会信用制度。
Oh, that's a policy?
Or
is that
well, I don't know if it is or isn't. That's what he's asking about, but
yeah.
You haven't heard of it.
No, it never applied to me yet.
Yeah, that's your answer, bro. Like, well, whatever.
Yeah,
All right,
so it's probably just what you heard about, from another place.
All right, dude. Here comes the mic, man.
So hi, I'm Bhav. I live in Hong Kong. I just wanted to ask you, considering how much Chinese media is controlled by the government, how much do the Chinese population really know about what's going on in Hong Kong right now?
Yeah, they know a lot about that from Chinese media, which is subjective, I think. From Hong Kong's perspective, that's what I heard about. We don't really know what the people from Hong Kong really think, and yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So nothing, bro. You lived in Hong Kong?
I live there right now. Yeah.
You live there right now?
Yeah.
Where are you? What's your ancestry? Wait, can you stand up so we can see you? Can you put them on the screen, by the way?
So I'm from India, but I travel a lot. I move around a lot. So right now I'm currently living in Hong Kong.
Nice to meet you.
Dude, there's a guy from Hong Kong. You didn't expect him to look like that, did you? But there he is. So what would you say is going on in Hong Kong, man?
So basically, for everyone that doesn't know, basically in a nutshell, the Hong Kong government was going to pass a new law about extraditing any criminal from any other country that's hiding in Hong Kong. So right now the law basically states that Hong Kong will only extradite a criminal. For example, if there's a Dutch criminal hiding in Hong Kong, they will only extradite him back to the Netherlands if they have a specific treaty with Netherlands. But this new bill that's being passed says that depending on if the criminal is convicted guilty in Hong Kong, they'll extradite them to wherever they're from, regardless of whether they have a specific treaty. And basically the protests are about the fact that this allows Hong Kong and China to... So right now, technically they're the same country, but they have two governments, and they have different immigration, etc. So what Hong Kong people are most worried about is the fact that with this, if this bill is passed, the Chinese government can basically extradite anyone they want from Hong Kong in order to suppress political opposition or whatever they may please, and that's what Hong Kong people are really insecure about, and that's what's causing the protests.
Dude, nice. All right.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, except that y'all clap for him, but there's probably about 1.2 billion people in the world who would disagree with what he said. Just saying. But that's all good. Yeah, no, I got it. That was good. All right, cool. Thanks, man. That was a joke, by the way. The entirety of China would disagree, but okay. Yeah, that's on. That was good. Thanks, man. I'm glad you spoke up. That's it, kind of.
That's it?
Yeah, you're good.
Thanks.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Hey, yo. So listen, let me, I want to say a couple things. We have a few minutes left, so I want to make a couple comments. Social 19 is about, it's race and culture, so we just submitted these, all of the paperwork. The official title of the class is Race and Culture. It's both international and the U.S. So we're going to talk about lots of issues in the United States and other issues internationally. And the class is different every semester. I never know what the class is. I rarely know what the class is going to be until the day before. And I'm just sort of watching to see what's on the news, and then we put something together, and we come in and we do it. So it's not planned out. That's why the syllabus doesn't have planned out set topics and stuff. And you don't want that, because you want to stay topical. We want to be talking about what's happening. And it's very much both U.S. issues that are really relevant here to the United States and issues that are relevant around the world. So keep that in mind, right? That's the topic of the course, and it's supposed to be that. And it's really important that we have opportunities to hear from people with different experiences. That's the first thing. The second thing is, this is the first home football game. There are lots of ways in which people can practice unsafe behavior during weekends at a place like Penn State, and most of them involve alcohol. So just be safe, okay? Be cool? And this is just the thing. Men, straight men, there's far too much sexual assault going on in all sorts of ways. Just don't think about other people. Just think about yourself. Cool? Got it? Like, just don't be dicks. All right, man. So we'll see you. All right.